Hey friends, it's your host Steph Connell, lifelong goal getter, betterment seeker, and both a student and master of making mindset matter. Through my 10 years of experience in coaching and leadership, I've seen passion and purpose diminish to form life's cookie cutter mold. And due to that, you see the train of unhappiness get more and more bogged down. My mission in life is to get a rise out of you. Together, we are building a community of women who can not only voice their vision, but bring that to fruition. You are daring. You are valued. You are needed. And you are ever growing, my friend. The world needs our courage, and we are bringing it on strong. So without further ado, let's get to it. It's time to be bold. Hey, I'm so excited for today's podcast. Today is going to be one of those tips and tricks and 1, 2, 3 list of amazing things that you can actually help your health, your family's health, and the health of our planet. And why that is so important? Simply because today, this is a perfect example of what I've put in words, and I'm actually going to read it off of my notes right here, that the world we live in today is based on the energy of yesterday's people. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But why I love it so much is that it gives us the understanding and awareness of what we do and why it's so important for the next years to come, because we are living in the world, the reflection of how people lived yesterday. So all the things that are maybe crashing down or not working or that we're finding need to change are simply because of a result of how people led their lives before. We're a reflection, the next step, the cleanup mode, we're on the receiving end of an excellent choice that they made on one thing. And so now we have it really good in one part. Okay, so this is where we have the opportunity to go, okay, how can I make a difference? Couple things in my life that I want to share with you that have made huge impact for me and my family that I really loved. And I'll give them to you in stages, actually. I'm going to give you 3 key things. There may be a couple extra, but I loved this as this is where I really went in the stage of making a change in my house. Firstly, I started a network marketing business roughly 10 years ago. And it allowed me to really understand the importance of natural changes, being as clean as I possibly can in various product uses in my life. So prior to that, growing up on a farm, I never thought of all the things like the chemicals. You know, that wasn't raised to my attention. Or being in the fashion industry, it wasn't raised to my attention of basic things that I use. I was not a huge product user in my life, however, became more of a product user later on, and realizing that we are all product users. We all wash. I hope we're all taking showers. I hope we're all cleaning ourselves at the end of the day or in the morning, whatever the scenario is. We all are using products. We all brush our teeth. We all wash our face. We all wash our hair. We all use the things. There's above and beyond where you can, do the makeup and all of the things, but I never was hugely into that. However, that being said, I had an awareness raised to my attention when I started in my networking business of even just those basic everyday things I use and how they can be harming me. That's where it first started. And then over the years, I broadened my horizons, I guess you can say, even more into depth on doing better for myself. And then recently, within the past 5 years, I have been more focused on continuing my journey to having a healthy life holistically, but also ensuring that I make the kind of choices that support me in that method, but also the planet. And one of those choices that I made was using cloth diapers. So if you're watching, you might hear a little crinkle here. I'm actually holding cloth diapers. And that was my first choice that I made. It'd be 5 years ago when I had my first I wanted to use cloth diapers. And let me tell you a couple things that I love about them, because a lot of the concept behind cloth diapers was that it was gross, the cleaning up when they poop and all of the things. And I'll tell you right now, once you become a parent, if you are a parent right now listening to this, you're probably giggling to yourself, because we don't care anymore. We've seen all the poop that we're going to see in our lives. You're going to get poop on your hands. You're going to get poop everywhere. You're going to have times where the baby gets poop all over the crib. You know, those super explosions, or when you're driving in the car and you're like, how does it get in your hair? How you defy gravity? How did it go all the way up your back? Poop is going to be everywhere. Okay. So that's the first thing that I want to prepare you for, is there's going to be poop. There's going to be poop on your hands. It's going to be part of the journey. But that being said, there is no more touching of the poop with cloth diapers than you would with a paper diaper. The benefits with a cloth diaper are astronomical compared to a paper diaper. And I found from my own personal journey and experience that there was more so of a benefit with two things in particular. Number one is the baby themselves, their bum. When they have a pee or a poo in a paper diaper, it actually interacts with the chemical that's in the paper diaper and can cause a lot of times what we know as diaper rash. However, with cloth diapers, my children never received any diaper rash. The only time I ever used a diaper rash cream was on their neck when they got drool rash and they had all the folds in their neck. But diaper rash, there was nothing, because it's clean, it's breathable, it's cloth, it's gentle on their skin. The other portion that I absolutely loved about it, that is a huge, big changer now in my life, I'm still using cloth diapers, but when they get to be a certain size where they're almost basically potty training, the cloth diaper doesn't hold as much. So we're talking about a 2-year-old here. So at this point, I moved to the paper diaper as we're potty training, but the amount of garbage that I couldn't even imagine if I wasn't even using cloth diapers whatsoever. If we were just using paper diapers, I can't even imagine the amount of garbage that our household would produce. Can't even imagine it. And that's one house with 3 children that over the course of 5 years. That's so much garbage in the landfills. Oh, so this is such a great way to be a support, because they're reusable. Super simple. You can get flushable liners to put on them so that you're not actually, touching any poop. You just pick it up and you drop it in the toilet, you flush it, and then you take the cloth diaper, you put it in a wet bag, and you wash it in the washing machine. So I love these guys because they're so gentle, they're reusable. Financially, it's so supportive on your wallet. Over a span of 5 years, I've used the same 20 diapers for 5 years. And they have been such a rewarding, more so in terms of the concept of being gentle and clean on their body and also clean for our environment. So that was my first major love and passion as I moved into the sustainable life. The second one that I moved into was actually encouraged from a couple friends. I heard of people using this before, and I really had a lot of questionable uncertainties if I wanted to go down this road, because I felt like, again, it was going to be messy. So I feel like a lot of these things we stray away from because they feel a little bit icky and messy. But I promise you, I hope that I can give you a little bit of encouragement as we walk through these, that they really aren't as bad as what we perceive them to be, and nothing really ever is. So the second one they have is a Diva cup. That is the brand, but it's called a menstrual cup in general. So if you're watching on YouTube, I am sharing some of these items so that you can see them. Super simple silicone type of item. And the idea around this is that it collects. Okay, so my biggest concern, if you're you're probably sitting there and you're like, oh my God, if you haven't used one, and tell me if you're thinking this was totally me. I'm like, ooh, it's messy. Like, what do you do when you go out into public? It's messy. Like, that's, ooh. Like, I'm just thinking, like, you can't like you're going to have it all over your hands and all the things. Trust me, it's not as bad as what you think. First thing to know about these items is that they collect, they don't hold. That's the difference between a tampon versus a menstrual cup. If you like to use pads, my biggest challenge with pads was they felt rashy and irritant. Again, we're going back to the cloth diaper concept that you're sitting in it and it actually interacts with the chemicals that are put into this product, and it can cause rash as you're sitting in it. So that's one with that, okay? The second thing with the tampons and the pads is they are disposable. Again, it's landfill. It's green for the environment if you can use something reusable. There also are cloth pads that you can use as well. So what brought my attention to actually thinking about this, I know many people who use them. It was still very questionable, but I listened to a podcast, and with having some people talk about them using this product and why it was so important is that things like tampons have elements in them like they are bleached. And this can actually throw off your pH. It's a very sensitive zone in there. So using something of this nature is more green and harmful free to you and your body and the sensitive environment that is going on down there. So this will collect. It's a very simple process. When you need to dump it, it will be the same kind of signal as a tampon, and you can simply dump it in the toilet, reinsert, and you're good to go. I love it because I'm not even, as a woman, like straight out as a woman, I am not having to carry anything in my pocket. It's like, that whole idea, I gotta sneak, put it in my pocket, walk to the washroom. There's none of that because I can simply dump it. It's already there. I'm going to the washroom, I'm dumping it and reinserting it, good to go. And you're washing your hands anyways. You wash your hands anyways after you go to the washroom. So there's no problem in that scenario as well. And all I can think about is all the waste that you are saving. All of the waste that you are saving. It is such a beautiful thing. So that was my number 2. My number 3 is very recent as well. I don't know about you, but I can't stand when my products, like all of my clothes, are staticky in the wintertime. And so a lot of times we were using dryer sheets. Some people like to use like a fabric softener can help as well. But I want you to think about the environment yet again, and also your skin. Whatever sits on from your clothes, the cleaner that you put on your clothes, all of that sits on your skin, whatever you put on your skin absorbs in 26 seconds. Faster than if you were to eat it into all of your major organs through your bloodstream, it goes through. Your skin is your largest organ on your body, so whatever sits on your skin gets soaked into your skin. So I loved these. You can tell are used if you're watching on YouTube. They've got all the pilled fluffs on them now. But these are called dryer balls, and I actually made them myself. They're super cute. What I love about them is that they have the ability to actually remove static themselves. You can get different types of dryer balls. I like to make mine out of wool. Guys, honestly, I am not the most educated when it comes to the scientific side of how this actually works. I think it's called hydrophilic or hydrophonic. You're probably laughing on the other side of this. Anybody can make it through this world if I can, because I don't know the world. However, when it comes to this, now I just realized that I said I don't know the world and I meant to say word. There you have it. If anybody can do this, I can do this. Okay, so the wool dryer ball. I made these. I love it. A friend of mine gave me a bunch of wool. I washed it. I made the dryer balls. And all you do, you put, I think, about 3 or 4. They have to be in numbers, and they actually have the ability to separate the clothes from each other, get an even dry throughout all of the clothes, and also with the type of material of wool, something to do with the moisture and how it absorbs it. I don't know. Do the research. I'm not here to be the high research one on it. All I know is these are some really great ways for you to go green in your life and for you to really support yourself financially and health-wise as well as the world. So these are reusable, which I love about them. Again, think about this. If you're using a dryer ball, okay, I get to use it every time. If you want to have the nice smell, you take an essential oil and you put 10 drops in, and that's it. And they will have that smell and they'll work it around in the dryer. You're not throwing away these dryer sheets after every wash. That's waste. Then you have to buy more to replenish them. These, you have your dryer balls, you use, you keep using, you keep using, you keep using. They go on and they go on. So again, you're not having the waste aspect, and the chemicals that are on the products of the dryer sheets is astronomical, and as well as your cleaning products. And think about it, if you use the fabric softener as well, then it's the same thing. Think about what goes out into the water and out into the earth. Those are some really neat aspects, some really great ways. The last one that I want to add on here for you is thinking green. So thinking green in terms of your household and removing things that you don't need anymore. If you're not using it, is it wasting space? Can someone else use it? It's time to get rid of it. So cleaning house, kind of that recycling concept. If you're not using, if you don't have the ability to release, you don't have the ability to receive. So if you're finding some things in your life are just stagnant, it's stagnant energy, you're not feeling inspired by it anymore, you're not using it, it's just been sitting there. If you have that feeling about it, it's time for it to go to somebody else, or it's time for it to be removed. It's time to increase the energy in your home. So when you change some of these elements for yourself, where you actually feel a little bit of purpose, pursuit of purpose, which I have said in a previous podcast, pursuit of purpose will inspire you and build your energy more than anything else that's out there. So if you come into your home and you're not feeling inspired, that is where you spend a lot of your time. That's supposed to be your haven. That's supposed to be your place that you come to at the end of the day, where you feel comfort and welcoming and excited to start your next day and excited to wake up in the morning, because that's the first thing you see. So if there is something there that's sitting there that needs to flow out so that you can receive more to come in, that is the cycle of life, which we've talked about in season 1 many times. The flow of life. It's a circle, okay? For things to flow. For me to give, I need to receive. For me to receive, I need to give. There needs to be that beautiful balance. So right now, you have the ability to give to yourself, and you have your ability to give to the earth in not one simple step, but the switch of some products that you might be using, whether that's personal use. So just to recap. So 3 major choices that I made a difference in my life, as well as the future in this planet, are cloth diapers. I love these guys. They were reusable over 5 years, and they can still be passed along. They're in great shape, and you throw them in the wash and you clean them and you reuse. So then you're not filling up the landfills with diapers, and you're also taking care of your baby's skin. The second one that I had was the menstrual cup, which I absolutely love, made of silicone. So it's completely safe and loving to your environment down there. It's also super friendly to your pocket, because you're not purchasing menstrual products over and over and over and over and over. And it's super loving to our landfills, because we're not throwing those products away in our waste as well. And also super convenient in terms of changing throughout the day, so that you don't have to go and grab a product and walk around with it in your pocket till you get to the washroom in fear of someone seeing or noticing. And then number 3, I have our super duper dryer balls, which are a great concept for you to be able to keep the static down, add a nice refreshing smell to your clothes without getting the chemicals on your skin, which we talked about is your largest organ, and absorbs products faster than if you even eat them. So it's completely safe. It's not carrying any chemical on it, completely natural, reusable. We're not throwing out dryer sheets or waste, and you're not getting that product on you. And it works so beautifully over and over and over and over again. And you can make those yourself, which is super cool if you enjoy that idea. Or you can find somebody who does those as well, or you can find them right online. All of these products you can find online. Everything we can find online today. So I will provide some links for you if you are looking for some of those things. I hope you enjoyed today's conversation, and I hope it gave you something to think about in terms of how you take care of yourself and how you take care of this planet, because when we merge those things together, we feel a sense of purpose. We feel like we are doing our daily due diligence towards this place that is housing us. This is our world. This is our planet. It is taking care of us. We need to take care of it as well. And just those small, minute little steps might seem small and insignificant, but they are quite significant. And you know what's so interesting? Just going back very quickly as I close this down with you, we talked about how earlier, when I was doing the diapers originally, I thought about when I'm potty training, just having the little bit of disposable diapers that I do use during the potty training stage, to imagine how many that would be when if I had diapers every single day with each of my children just normally, and then multiply that by the households just in my small town, and then think of it on a scale of a city, then think of it on a scale of a global. That is so much garbage. And so it really is not a small step when you make a difference and you make those choices for yourself and you feel good about what you're doing for your family. You feel good about the choices for their health. You feel good about what the reflection, the ripple effect of what it's done for the global scale. It's a beautiful thing. So really, you making a small choice, if it's something that you've been on the edge of, I wanted to create this podcast so that you can feel comfortable to reach out to me if you want to ask any other questions, or just kind of share it with your friends that other people are on these same topics. Other people are doing these, normalizing these things that for the longest time, these were things that were done in the past, and then there was a switch in time where other things like chemicals and easy access and just convenience and fast, those words define a lot of the process of how we lead and live our lives today and how it's very much been. So now we are just going back to roots that have been and how it's been many, many, many years ago. And there's a beautiful reflection, ripple effect, like I said earlier, of what happens when you make these small little changes for yourself and share. So normalizing these things for everybody to feel comfortable. Oh, she does that. Oh, I love that. Having that connection that it's not so minute. It's not so small. It actually is a big deal. And so are you in those differences that you make. So listen, I really enjoyed spending these moments with you today, and I hope you did too. My gratitude is through the roof. But in order for us to make even more magic in this world, we've got to spend more time together. Make it your focus to connect consistently so you can continue to gain and change up your days to come. Secondly, we are a direct result of who we hang around with, and now you're in the world of becoming better. By sharing this episode, you are making an impact in someone's life, and frankly, we're just better together. And don't forget to tag me so I can send some love and shout-outs back, my friend. Until next time, this is your host, Steph, on Be Bold.